challenge, y'all. It's your boy Jay back at it again. Today we got One Piece's Water 7 was our real by my dog JP. Talk too much. You see I'm already subbed up. My boy making good content. But with that being said, sub up to both Jays here and Jays there. We going crazy, you know what I'm saying? We putting in work. With that being said, if any more yapping, let's get right into it.
Alright, bro, look, today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be covering something that I've been waiting a minute to do, not gonna lie. And that is covering my all-time favorite arcs from One Piece. Also, this is so Omi could let me out his basement and stop feeding me dry crackers and sugar water. So this is your reminder to like the video, share it with your homies if they enjoy One Piece, and if you're on mobile, press that hype button so the algorithm gods could bless me with some views. And if you haven't, consider becoming a member of the channel, where you will get to listen to the audio of these videos the moment I am done recording.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, Baki. We gotta watch a Baki video on this, cause Baki makes no fucking. I gotta make a Baki video soon, cause these niggas in Baki just be doing whatever the fuck, bro.
You will also get your name at the beginning of every video. Now, if you want more of JP out of the way, let's get started. Starting this video off, I want to mention how much I hate, with a capital H, Long Ring Longland.
Oh, yeah,
simply because
ass, bro. I know all the straw hat niggas gonna be in my comments. Well, Long Ring Longland was actually really peak. It was one of the best. No, but that shit was so mid, bro. When I mean mid, I mean that shit was fucking slog to get through, cuz. And niggas gonna tell me, well, Long Ring Longland. No, bro, that shit felt. Nigga, I thought this shit was filler, bro. Like, that's how bad it was. It's a canon arc, but I thought that shit was filler. And I'm just like, my nigga, bro, I don't wanna watch this shit, bro. Foxy's not a good antagonist. The shit's just not good, man. I don't care. Cause Straw Hat niggas have the tendency to say arcs that are peak fiction when in actuality them hoes is ass, bro.
it contains one of the most annoying characters in One Piece. I do not care what your opinion is. No one will top Foxy for their pure annoyance. Like, I hated
No. Trouble, Sugar. Let me think. I definitely got Trouble and Sugar and Saint Charlos. No. Foxy, no. He not up there. He not up there.
So much, but no fear, because after Long Ring Longland, we get blessed with the most goated arcs of One Piece back to back, and that is Water 7 followed by Enies Lobby. Now, after Luffy turned black for a moment and beat the brakes off Foxy, these niggas run into none other than Admiral Aokiji. This is like stepping fresh into Limgrave with nothing on and immediately running into Millennia. For my eldest
like level 5 and they went to a level 90 gate, bro. Y'all niggas is cooked.
ring players. Now, this confrontation started off fine because Aokiji was just taking a stroll, casually riding his bike on the water, and he said he wasn't even gonna try to capture them, but Luffy decided he wanted to fight. Now, mind you, they just figured out who Aokiji is by seeing how terrified Nico Robin was. Now, as we all know, Robin is the smartest out of everybody on that crew, and everybody in the Straw Hats besides Robin and Nami collectively shares 2 dancing brain cells, because they decided it's a good idea to get into a fight with an admiral. And this was after they witnessed him freezing the entire ocean.
They're so lucky Aokiji's one of the most chill niggas. They lucky it's Aokiji. Cause if that was Kizaru or God forbid Akainu, niggas would have been dead, bro. I ain't gonna.
Craziest part, Robin started off the fight. Zoro and Sanji followed after, only to get grabbed by Aokiji, followed by him eating one of Luffy's punches and just freezing everybody. Had them niggas on the ground like some cockroaches fresh after getting sprayed. After that, bro casually flash freezes Robin, and when he goes to break her into pieces, Luffy comes in for the save. And bro was determined to stomp her, but Usopp came in for the save this time. And look at Aokiji, bro. He is heated that they were celebrating this. After tossing Nami to the side, of course Zoro and Sanji were going to attack until Luffy told him not to, cause bro wanted that 1v1. Unfortunately for Luffy, he seems to forget that he is fighting his complete opposite in counter. Anywho, bro runs and punts Aokiji into the air, followed by
the same move he used on Crocodile. And this shit did nothing.
Gum Storm. Unfortunately for Luffy, he wasn't prepared for this boss battle and immediately gets turned into a popsicle. Bro looked like he hitting one of these. Anywho, Aokiji, feeling sorry for this nigga, just leaves, allowing them to escape. And Aokiji just gets back on his bike. Now, after this is where we encounter peak cinema. Starting this off, they almost get ran over by a sea train. And that's when they meet Kokoro. They also meet a suicidal frog trying to fight said train. Of course, he loses when he tries every time. But anywho, the crew hears about Water 7 and how they have some great shipwrights. And this is exactly what they need right now, because the Going Merry is on its last leg. Anywho, they get to Water 7 and the Merry's already
one knee. That shit on the sweet victory pole. That shit dumb.
falling apart. Nami takes Luffy and Usopp to go trade in their gold for some berries. While they're on their way to do that, we finally meet the shipwrights, Galila. And of course, they're being harassed by this. I don't even know what this is, bro. Like, you came fresh out of Tusk? Like, bro, what dentist do you go to? These niggas were trying to finesse Galila for some work and got the shit.
Shut up, my nigga Galila, bro. That's my dog, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I dead thought he was gonna run the Straw Hats by the end of this arc.
Niggas got even blasted by a whole cannon. Now, as for the other members of the Straw Hat, Robin and Chopper went out shopping. After hearing that, Sanji goes to buy ingredients to cook, leaving Zoro with the boat. While out shopping and looking fine as hell, Robin runs into CP9, and she
Robin in this arc, that's one of her top uniforms. That and her Thriller Bark outfit. Bad as fuck, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
is flabbergasted because she knows the Straw Hats are cooked if she doesn't skedaddle. Now, while sleeping on the ship, Zoro gets ambushed by Frankie's goons. And look at this weak-ass squad, bro. Who's this nigga in the back supposed to be? Humpty Dumpty? They attack and promptly get their asses handed to them. Following this, Usopp, Luffy, and Nami goes to trade in their gold. Of course, Luffy and Usopp were gonna get finessed out of their money if Nami wasn't there to stop them from signing. And after threatening the appraiser, he gives them a fair deal, 300 million berries, which Luffy immediately almost loses. While all this is going on, they are being watched by the Frankie goons. But that'll be a problem for later, because right now they gotta get to the Galila. When they arrive, they meet Kaku, who looks like Usopp, except his nose is square. Anywho, bro takes off to check out the Mary. Meanwhile, Sanji catches Robin mid-skedaddling and follows her. Meanwhile, Luffy and the others meet Iceberg.
And his how good this arc was. I might have to make a video about this shit, bro. Let me copy your whole flow word for bar. Cause Water 7 is so tough, bro. Water 7 Eve's Lobby is basically the same arc. I'm not even gonna lie.
Assistant Khalifa. This nigga Iceberg is genuinely insane, bro. I swear this man is bipolar. Like, on a whim, bro just decides to cancel all his appointments for the day and proceeds to show Nami, Luffy, and Usopp around. While sitting there yapping, they get 200 million berries stolen from them without even noticing. Fortunately for them, Polly came in for the save, only to steal the money for himself. And before he gets away, Lucci came in for the save. After the whole debacle, Polly attacks Lucci, and we witness a tiny portion of Lucci's strength.
Niggas started his aura for niggas in anime go aura for him, bro.
After the whole debacle, Polly attacks.
I know you could have dodged that, Lucci.
And we witness a
nigga just want the aura for him, bro. Bro, this is how calisthenic niggas be in the gym, bro. We get it. You do calisthenics. Yes, bro. We see the pose, my nigga. We get it, bro.
Tiny portion of Lucci's strength. Anywho, after this, Usopp gets jumped and robbed by the Frankie family. After this, Kaku comes back and brings the bad news. The Mary is cooked. There is no
Kaku said to them niggas, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all niggas is fuck. Y'all gotta get new ship because this shit is gone, nigga. Like, I may be CP9, but like, I'm still a shipwright, bro. Y'all niggas need to throw this shit in the trash, bro. The rudder, the hull, nigga, the base, all that shit is fucked up, bro.
And they don't even know how these people made it so far with the Mary. Like, the Mary should have been destroyed a long time ago. Anywho, while being flabbergasted, some world government officials pull up, and bro starts sniffing out pirates. Like, how do you acquire the skill? While this is happening, Luffy and Nami finally realizes they got robbed. So they run to go find Usopp, and when they found this man, bro was on the ground, nose broken, crying and bleeding everywhere. Like, they did him dirty. Afterwards, while they're in the Frankie house celebrating, Usopp explodes their front door, pulling up to get his money back. Unfortunately, the only money he gets was Frankie's bare foot to his face.
And then even if this was post time skip Usopp, this would have probably happened the same way. Cause post time skip Usopp's a fucking bum, bro. Oda gave this nigga, I thought this nigga came back swole. He had a little afro with a little beard going, well, not a beard, like a little bit of facial. I'm like, okay, this nigga Usopp might be like that. Still doing the same shit. And Elbaf, this nigga done lost muscle mass. This nigga ain't do shit. Niggas tell me Elbaf is Usopp's arc. I haven't seen this nigga do anything but get no diffed by a paw and get kneed by a fucking Gunko. I ain't seen this nigga do nothing. I'ma need this nigga Oda to give Usopp some type of power up. Put this nigga in a hyperbolic time chamber. Cause my nigga, world government niggas is immortal. They got healing spiritual powers. These niggas is doing all this shit and your ass can't handle a small animal, my nigga. You need to lock in, bro.
Bro got grabbed and everybody's standing around like that one meme with the black guys in the white t-shirts. And bro proceeds to get jumped a second time. Anywho, after finding Usopp mangled on the ground, the Straw Hat Gang made
cold moment. Cold ass, y'all. This was one of the coldest moments in the show, bro. Cold as fuck. They just saw that nigga. I seen so many edits, bro. That nigga lit his cigarette. That nigga Luffy Park popping his knuckles. Niggas all put on the dewy rag. Chopper got amped, bro. This shit was so tough, bro.
The greatest pull-up in history. And they so clean with it. I mean, Usopp kind of ruining it because he lying there half dead. But they clean. A giant dude opens the door and immediately gets blasted by Luffy, followed by their biggest member getting dogged and falling on everybody else. They tried to launch cannonballs and that shit did not work because Zoro cut him in half. They tried to run away, but it really didn't work because Sanji got to him first. Even Chopper was getting it in. And just like that, they blew up the Frankie house and everybody inside. Frankie and his two flat-headed pointy-nosed assistants gets on the train to escape. And after this, we get one of the most unexpected fights in One Piece. Because when they told Usopp stupid ass that the Mary is cooked, he ain't wanna let it go. And he decides to challenge.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, this is one of the best fights in One Piece. But the worst part is, this is the best Usopp's fought, my nigga. The best Usopp, the most work I've seen Usopp put it was against his own captain. If I'm Luffy, I'm like, my nigga. Against everybody else, you scared, you don't want to fight, you terrified, you running, you being a pitch, you doing all this shit. But when it's me, your own man's, this nigga moving like prime Batman, nigga got prep time, all these guys. Obviously he lost. We knew Usopp was gonna lose, right? It's fucking Luffy. But the fact that Usopp was actually able to do some level of damage to this nigga is ridiculous, bro.
Luffy, which should have gotten this man kicked out of this pirate crew forever. Cause Luffy is the captain. Whether he's a goofy idiot or not doesn't change that. And
he needs his character development, bro. Luffy before this moment was Luffy post fight Usopp, way better captain and just overall way better leader. He needed this shit.
Challenging his captain's authority means he is not loyal and gotta go. Now at exactly 10 pum, Luffy and Usopp square up the square.
Yo, this is such a cold. Bro, I forget how good this arc is, yo. This shit. Nigga, these niggas look cold, bro.
And immediately Usopp starts lying out his ass while his knees are shaking. Usopp pulls a trick with some ketchup, followed by flashbanging Luffy. And while Luffy's blind.
Nigga, Usopp, where this nigga post time skip doing this shit? I don't see no impact dials. I don't see no move. All this nigga shooting eggplants and all of this shit. Nigga, Van Augur is going to kill Usopp, bro. Van Augur one-shot a Cracker Biscuit, which took Gear 4 Luffy to beat, my nigga. What is Oda gonna do for Usopp for this nigga to get on Van Augur? Because Van Augur like that, bro. Van Augur like that, bro. Nigga got a devil fruit, if I'm not mistaken. Like, how the fuck is Usopp gonna fight that nigga, bro? He's going to get... Nigga, Usopp need a gun, bro. Like, bro, this nigga Usopp. Yo, Usopp really be pissing me off sometimes, bro.
And the bro starts pelting him with stinky eggs, followed by him shooting Tabasco directly in Luffy's mouth. Turned that boy into a dragon real quick. It also turned out bro has a bunch of caltrops on the floor. And mans is getting Luffy real good. Like,
this is what I meant, like, nigga, Usopp, this is the hardest you've ever fought, and it is against your best, one of, if not your best friend, leader, captain. My nigga, you fought the hardest against your own man.
Bro is getting cooked. Man got smacked in the face with some pepper and even got a caltrop up his ass. Bro had Luffy looking like an actual fraud. Bro legit had Luffy running for his life from some ninja stars. Had Luffy out of breath, bro. And just when you thought this man was done, he had another trap prepared. Bro fills the area with gas, fires a flame star and explodes Luffy. Bro had Luffy looking like a fish fresh out the fryer. Unfortunately for Usopp, Luffy was tired of his shit. And even the
that nigga said, I'm sick of this shit. That nigga like, bro, that's why he laying on the ground like that. He's like, yeah, I'm really gonna have to sleep this nigga. I'm really gonna have to punch the dog shit.
Unfortunately for Usopp, Luffy was tired of his shit. And even the Mary started crying because she knows Usopp is fucked. When Luffy goes for a Gum Gum Gatling, bro got countered, followed by Usopp legit trying to explode this man. While being exploded, Luffy counters with a Gum Gum pistol, finally hitting Usopp. But when he goes for a Gum Gum Bazooka, he hits an impact dial, followed by Usopp countering with that dial, sending Luffy flying. But bro landed, and Usopp starts getting flashbacks.
Yeah, you know it's done. When a nigga gets hit with his own attack, that nigga stood on his feet. Yeah, it's dumb, bro. Luffy's not a normal person.
While
bro.
Luffy pulls the meanest cockback.
Yeah, that nigga had enough. That nigga cocked that shit all the way to that nigga cocked that shit at least 50 meters back, bro.
A demonic cockback from the devil is a part-timer. And bro hits Usopp with a gum-gum bullet straight to the gut, making Usopp bleed out his mouth. And yeah, Usopp was done after that one. Now immediately after the Usopp
fell down, ass tooted up and all that, bro.
We find out Iceberg got shot. Following this news, Water 7 becomes straight chaos. Frankie comes back to find his house demolished, and so he vows to take revenge. Immediately following this, we get the news that Aqua Laguna is coming. Aqua Laguna is basically when the entire city decides to flood. So yeah, this shit is back-to-back chaos. And Frankie didn't make it any better because this triple chin bastard pulled up spitting the worst bars known to man. And look at his eyes, bro. He fresh off a pack of motor oil. Anywho, bro challenges Luffy to a fight. And ladies and gentlemen, the chaos does not end there. Because it turns out the person who shot Iceberg is none other than Nico Robin. Back to Frankie and Luffy. And bro starts off the fight by spitting fire at niggas. And I'm not talking about no bars, bro. He's literally spitting fire. After this, bro jumps in the water and attacks from below, destroying their Yagura. And while Luffy's falling down, bro gets attacked again, taking a punch straight to the gut. And that shit looked like it did some damage. And Nami was just flabbergasted because she could not understand what the hell Frankie was. Frankie finally reveals that he's a cyborg.
Yeah, that nigga ultra cyborg. I don't know how the fuck a 10-year-old was able to make his own body metal. I don't know how niggas do that shit, but you know, anime logic.
And then we pan to Chopper and Sanji looking for
Switch to TurboTax.
Nah, bro, Water 7 has so many moving parts. And the thing is, it never felt like the pacing was slow in Water 7. Like, the pacing felt like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Versus Thriller Bark and fucking Wano and Whole Cake. Oh my god. Yo, that Dressrosa, parts of Whole Cake and Wano had some of the worst pacing I've ever seen in my life, bro. Like, I was dead watching that shit. That shit was painful as fuck, bro. If I make a Dressrosa vid, my nigga, I gotta talk about that pacing, because that shit is dog ass, boy. I ain't gonna lie.
Sanji looking for Robin. And by the way, Galila is now big mad at the Straw Hats. Luckily for them, they just got the news of Luffy fighting Frankie, so they're on the way to throw some hands. Luffy and Frankie are going band for band right now, destroying the entire shipyard in the process. They were pretty even. Until Frankie pulled out a fucking laser sight and tried to nuke Luffy. But bro retaliated with a kick and got blocked. And then both their ass got punched into oblivion by none other than the Galila crew. And immediately Luffy's getting strangled like this was an episode of The Simpsons. Luffy gets smacked and the rest of Galila starts pulling out their weapons. Nigga even brought the shotty. And bro blasts Luffy with 2 shots. And when Luffy gets pulled back, bro gets kicked in the mouth. Now Frankie getting mad as head started blasting everywhere, missing every shot. And while bro was focused on Paku, bro gets smacked with an entire fucking log. Paku comes in for the alley, grabs this man by his ass and plants him in the ground. Meanwhile, Lucci is throwing hands with Luffy. And I mean, these niggas are
preview of the fight.
Really throwing hands, look at him. Unfortunately for Luffy, he gets dogged into the ground. And when they question him about what happened to Iceberg, bro is confused. Unfortunately for the Straw Hats, news has gotten out, and now the entirety of Water 7 is looking for them. Galila is trying to interrogate Luffy, but again, he doesn't know anything. And being the great captain that he is, he's backing Robin 100%, saying that Robin isn't capable of doing something like this. But Galila and the entirety of Water 7 do not care. They start jumping Luffy. Bro with the shotties dropped him and pulled out some blade saws. Meanwhile, that one loud nigga started firing off cannonballs. And look at this fucking crowd like, bro, are y'all from the Spider-Man universe? Like, these motherfuckers will hear that there's a dangerous fight going on, and they'll just pull up to watch like that shit was pay-per-view. Anywho, Luffy escapes the blast, but Lucci was on his ass. But luckily, he dodged and is now running away. Straight into the nigga with the blade saws. Paku pinned his ass to the wall, and they are ready to blast this nigga with the golden can.
Jump, where's my... If I'm Luffy, I'm like, nigga, where's my crew? Where are my reinforcements?
And while Luffy's getting blown up, Frankie is just sitting there with his lackeys drinking. Bro immediately gets mad that they're not paying attention to him and proceeds to pull an ultimate move out his ass, demolishing everything in front of him. Mind you, they were just working on that ship, and this lunatic is happy to bring down the entire shipyard. Anywho, Luffy uses that distraction to escape with Nami because he wants to go talk to Iceberg. Now they pull up to the headquarters, and Luffy, like the sane man he is, busts him through the window and starts running around like the
I think he Batman, bro.
lunatic he is, trying to find Iceberg. Luckily for him, Iceberg also wants to see him and gets Khalifa to help facilitate that. While talking to Iceberg, bro pulls out the blick on Luffy, asking him to do him a favor because he wants to meet with Nico Robin. Anywho, after meeting with Iceberg, Luffy decides he wants to be Spider-Man, jumping off with Nami. Now following this, Frankie heads to a bar where we meet Bluno. While there, he also runs into Granny Kokoro, and she doesn't believe that pirates were the one that shot Iceberg. She says it was the work of CP9. Following this, we get confirmation when Robin meets up with CP9 to talk about the next phase of their plan during Aqua Laguna. Meanwhile, everyone in Water 7 is preparing for Aqua Laguna, shutting windows, bolting down doors so their houses don't get flooded. Zoro is lost and confused as usual. Nami and Luffy are running their asses away. Usopp is hiding by the Mary, and Sanji and Chopper are still looking for Robin. They also learn that the next sea train is scheduled for Enies lobby. Chopper gets
I'm waiting for that Sanji moment where that nigga like, bingo. That's one of the coldest Sanji moments in the show.
the scent of Robin in his nose and
That
takes
might be the coldest Sanji moment in the show, bro. That nigga had hella aura.
followed by Sanji. After falling face first down some stairs, they encounter Robin, and she's like, I can't be with y'all no more. I wanna head out. Oh, and by the way, I was the one that shot Iceberg. My bad, cuz. And then she did, leaving Sanji and Chopper flabbergasted. These goofy ass niggas even tried to run underwater to get her. Anywho, as they're trying to process what the hell just happened, Luffy, Nami, and Zoro are running for their lives. And look at this elite hiding position that Luffy put them in. They got my man's holding on with his bare toes. After everybody leaves, they are found by Chopper. Meanwhile, Usopp is trying to buy some stuff to fix the Mary. And this nigga is broke. And what's worse, he can't even carry all this shit by himself. Look at him falling. And even still, he tries to fix the Mary. The remaining Straw Hats get together, and Chopper delivers the bad news. Luffy, of course, cannot believe his ears. But nonetheless, they put...
That nigga like, what the fuck? Oh, hell no.
Chopper delivers the bad news. Luffy, of course...
I forget how much niggas was going. Nigga, we just fought Usopp ass. Usopp not on the crew no more. My nigga, what's that nigga name? Robin not on the crew. Like,
cannot believe his ears.
What the fuck? Hell no.
But nonetheless, they put their head together, comes up with a plan, and are heading towards Galila. Meanwhile, Frankie is screaming at the top of his lungs, challenging Luffy to a fight. And unfortunately for Usopp, Frankie learns from his goons that he's fixing the ship all by his lonesome. So now they're on the way to kidnap him and use him as bait. But we pan to the Galila company, and everybody is waiting. And look at them sitting up there like they some admiral. Iceberg requests to talk to Polly and sends him out on a mission by himself to go and retrieve something from a safe. Meanwhile, kaboom! CP9 puts their plan into action. Using the explosion as a distraction, Bluno and Robin, oh yeah, spoilers by the way, the big guy that was with Robin is Bluno. Anywho, they head into Galila headquarters. Meanwhile, everybody that was protecting Iceberg runs to the commotion, except for Paku and Lucci. Anywho, in front of Galila is straight chaos. Somebody in a costume just starts putting hands and feet on the entirety of Galila, using a thorn whip to escape.
That twist where these niggas that got war CP9, I was not expecting that shit. That shit was masterfully done,
Unfortunately, they're now surrounded. By the way, the masked person with the whip is none other than Khalifa. The Straw Hat team is waiting to enact their plan, but unfortunately for them, their captain is a complete crackhead. Luffy disappeared off into the night somewhere where they don't know where he went. While running, they got Bluno and Robin surrounded, with their back against the wall. Unfortunately for the Galila guys, they pulled a Harry Potter and disappeared into the wall. After the Super Khalifa, blowing the minds of everybody and walking through the air, and just putting the paws on everybody. While Polly finally gets his hands on the blueprint, two other masked people pulled up right behind them, claiming to be from CP9. And they already ran through everybody outside. Panning back to Bluno and Robin, they finally make it to Iceberg's room and immediately starts letting off shots. They shoot him in the shoulder and like good villain, Bluno starts yapping and reveals their plan. Not only to frame Luffy and the Straw Hats, but get their hands on a specific blueprint. Nami, Zoro, and Chopper run straight into the hands of the enemy. Good job. Meanwhile, Luffy's enormously dumb ass got himself stuck between two buildings. Panning back to Bluno, he goes outside and paints a movie scene. By the time Tailstone loud ass gets there, Lucci is on the floor bleeding out, and Paku looks dead along with everybody else. Meanwhile, Bluno's sitting up the stairs like he was the final boss. Tailstone goes to attack with a hammer and gets blocked with Iron Body. And then bro grabs his arm, and Tailstone's big ass can't even move. So Bluno proceeds to plant this man's face into the ground. Everybody else tried to run for backup, but it didn't they didn't get very far. Meanwhile,
these niggas is superhuman. Yeah, you're fucked. Buddy.
the gang's running for their life. They getting shot at. So Zoro decides to turn back and starts running through niggas. Mans is making a tidal wave out of bodies. Now Iceberg is left in his room with Robin, and instead of spitting some game, bro pulls out a blick, only for Robin to pull out 4. While in their standoff, Robin learns that Iceberg has some elite ball knowledge about the poneglyphs. Robin, being flabbergasted, decides to get handsy with Iceberg, stopping him from shooting. And then learning from Iceberg that
was on me like that shit, I would've. Shit, I'm trying to get some on, you know what I'm saying?
they were tricked. Meanwhile, all this was going on, Luffy finally gets himself unstuck from the 2 buildings. Panning back to Polly, bro looks like Swiss cheese. And this dumb ass, mid-dying, decides to start yapping and let them know that those blueprints were fake. Like, my nigga, the whole point of having something fake is to not let people know they're fake until it's too late. Like, I cannot for the life of me know why the fuck he would tell them that it was fake. Luffy's crackhead ass busts in and gets stuck through the wall, saving Polly from getting murdered. Luffy, on the other hand, almost gets his head chopped off, barely escaping. Unfortunately, bro got with the most unnecessary kick I have seen in anime. Like, bro, you couldn't just grab them with your hand, like you had to use your foot. Anywho, Luffy and Polly gets restrained. And when Khalifa was about to leave, Buddy decides to talk some shit and got his guts kicked in as a reward. Panning back to Luffy and Polly, these niggas start screaming like lunatics for no reason. Anywho, following this, CP9 finally removes their mask. And Iceberg is flabbergasted, cause it be your own peoples, bruh. While all that
nigga, I thought I was on my man.
is happening, Frankie pulls up to Usopp and kidnaps him along with the Mary. Zoro finishes beating up all the shipwrights and immediately gets lost somehow. After kicking the shit out of an injured man, Lucci decides to put Iceberg through a lie detector test. And pretty quickly, they find out the truth. Frankie's real name is Cuddy Flam. Tom had to... I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me explain. There was this crazy good shipwright named Tom. He did everything with gusto. Even though he had a company in Water 7, there's not much known about it. Now, Tom had only 2 apprentices. One of them is Iceberg. Tom invented a blueprint for this crazy battleship called Pluton. But you see, he didn't want it falling into the wrong hands, and the world government had already came to grab his ass. So he entrusted the blueprints to Iceberg. Iceberg, knowing the government's gonna come after him sooner or later, decides to give the blueprints to Cuddy Flam. But you see, Cuddy Flam is supposed to be dead. Apparently he died in an accident. Well, it turns out Cuddy Flam is none other than Frankie. And that is the information that Lucci just confirmed to be true. Now they are getting ready to go after Frankie. Unfortunately for them, the crackhead lunatic and his directionally challenged first mate bust in through 2 different walls. Everybody is both flabbergasted and confuzzled. Polly tries to attack, but ended up getting fingered by Lucci. Polly's sitting there like,
yo, pause, bro. Major pause.
I can't believe you've done this. Right when he was about to end Polly, Luffy goes for a kick and gets blocked. Bro followed it up by a Gum Gum Gatling and did 0.
Bro, Lucci versus Luffy is one of the best fights. I feel like in terms of pure choreography, it's the best fight in One Piece until Luffy versus Katakuri, I'm not even gonna lie.
Damage. In response, Lucci starts flash stepping and fingers Luffy in the throat. Luckily, he survives. They try asking Robin why she's doing this, but she's like, I ain't gotta tell you shit, and proceeds to snap Iceberg's spine for talking. Lucci's like, by the way, this shit gonna blow up in like 2 minutes, so y'all might wanna head out. Psych, I lied. You niggas are fried. I'm not gonna let y'all escape. They go to leave, and Luffy throws a kick, only for Bluno to parry it with his stupid ass face. Luffy's confused as to why he can't hit him, and Bluno responds, our training allows us to be hard as a brick. Luffy didn't like what just entered his ears, so he starts kicking and missing. Luffy continues attacking, and Bluno's just showing
it's like the fact Luffy saw this shit once and been like, bet. Niggas saw that shit once and said, gone, like, bro. That nigga Luffy might have the Sharingan, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. This nigga went through one bad fight in Water 7 and created a whole transformation to counter it.
Off all the moves that they could do. Shave, airwalk, iron body, paper art, and I think Lucci's fingering is one of the techniques too. While Luffy's standing there flabbergasted looking at Bluno, bro gets double teamed by Kaku and Khalifa. Zoro goes and tries to fight Kaku, and he was doing good until he got fingered by Kaku. Meanwhile, Luffy got his entire face grabbed by Lucci. And look at the aura on this man, bro. One-handed, bird on the shoulder, without a care in the world. He's telling y'all he's him. Robin finally hops out the window after taking her sweet ass time time, and Luffy gets tossed like a pebble. Before leaving, Lucci decides to show off his devil fruit, and in a show of power, bro cuts the entire building in half with a single kick. Polly tried to grab Iceberg and escape, but they weren't letting that shit happen. When Lucci goes to punch Polly, man gets socked in the face by Luffy, but unfortunately for Luffy, he gets speared in return. And then bro grabbed his little ass head and tosses him through the fucking wall. Sent that man on a whole field trip. Zoro tried to come in for an attack and got kicked into oblivion. They tie up Polly and Iceberg so they could get roasted in the fire. They head out to find Frankie, and on the way, they run into a couple of Frankie's goons and overheard exactly where Frankie was. And then proceeds to annihilate every single one of them. After telling Frankie the story of how they traveled with the Going Merry for so long, the three of them starts crying. And then Frankie decides to write a whole song about it. Hey bro, he be like me for real. After this, Usopp and Frankie gets into a fight about the Merry. And Frankie decides to show Usopp with his own two eyes how terrible of a state the Merry is in and that it cannot go on. And still, this long-nosed delusional idiot is still trying to fix the Merry.
Apart. Nigga, the side of the ship is fucked. Nigga, the whole, like, you gotta, if y'all tried to write that shit is done, bro. Nigga, I remember posting these lobby, they was on the mirror. That shit fell apart mid-voice.
Like, that shit's gonna do something. That's like putting a band-aid on a giant gash on your hand. Anywho, after seeing how sad and pathetic Usopp is, Frankie soothes his mind by telling him that time on Skypiea where their ship was mysteriously repaired, it was by a Klabautermann. Apparently, it's some sort of fairy that repairs your boat when you take good care of it or something. I do not know. Anywho, all the good time ends when CP9 pulls up to the door. And Frankie was not having it, bro. Bitches Bluno by grabbing his face and holding this man up with one arm. And he even stopped himself from getting fingered. But
yeah, I don't know, bro. Frankie was strong as fuck on Order 7. Frankie's him, bro. Frankie might actually be that guy, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Fortunately, he got double teamed by Lucci. And look at this nigga Usopp. Bro steps to the side. Yo, that is devious. Like, damn, nigga, you could at least pretend that you tried to catch him. Anywho, CPU9 proceeds to tell them, we're secret agents sent by the world. Like, yo, so far, these niggas have told everybody that they're secret agents. That shit's not a secret anymore. And majority of the people they told didn't even die. So, like, this is, bro, you niggas... You guys suck at being secret agents.
Niggas in anime love telling their secret identity for no reason.
Anywho, they tell him to hand over the plans for Pluton. But Frankie attacks with a hand, only to get weaved and countered by Lucci. They start searching his shit, and Lucci comes upon a picture. Let's analyze the picture. As you can see, there's Tom in the middle, holding Frankie and Iceberg, who are fighting. And then you have Yokozuna the frog to the right. Now, believe it or not, the lady standing to the left is none other than Granny Kokoro. The fuck happened? How did she go from this to what she looks now?
I ain't gonna lie, you still gotta put a paper bag over that shit. I'm not even gonna lie.
By the way, spoilers, Granny Kokoro is a mermaid. Anywho, we get a flashback of Frankie's past, and Tom pulls the wildest feat we have ever seen. Bro took an entire boat and tossed it in the fucking ocean. And before we leave, let's analyze this nigga's build, because how on earth are his legs supporting his body? Jesus Christ. And by the way, this goes for a lot of characters in One Piece, like Kuma, Gecko Moria, and even Blackbeard Big Ass.
But One Piece stay skipping leg day, bro.
With him, bro, I think it's just his fit, bro. This nigga's wearing some green pants, a yellow sash belt, with this big ass red shirt. Like, my nigga, where are you getting your fits from, bro? You need to throw them shits away. Anywho, I digress. Tom gets arrested and tried because he was the one that built Roger's ship. But turns out, Tom has level 100 negotiating skills, and they give him 10 more years to build the sea train, which he successfully did. But then Spondum decided to show up. And throughout this entire arc, especially in his lobby, Spondum
is so pussy. I hate that nigga, bro. Foxy's annoying, but Spondum deadass was pissing me off when he was beating up on Robin, bro. I wish that nigga died, bro. He deserves to die.
Is the most annoying character I have ever seen in One Piece. Because not only was he the one that informed the world government that the blueprints for Pluton exist, but when the world government came to declare that Tom was not guilty, this nigga took control of all of Frankie's battleships and started destroying the judicial ship, completely framing Tom, Frankie, and Iceberg. Now, during their new trial, Frankie denounces the battle Frankies that he made and promptly gets punched by Tom. And Tom tells him, no matter what the ships you're built are used for, always be proud and always claim them as yours. And then he punches the shit out of Spondum for Frankie. One of the most satisfying punches.
How this nigga lift a battleship by himself and tossed it. How is this nigga alive? He's a regular human. Niggas in One Piece never die, bro.
Punches in One Piece. Right after Luffy punching that celestial dragon. But ladies and gentlemen, no good deed goes unpunished. And for his action...
Yo, that nigga Sanji
after Luffy
weird,
punching that
bro.
celestial dragon. But ladies and gentlemen, no good deed goes unpunished. And for his actions, Tom gets boomed. And bro did not die. Using his level 1000 negotiating skills, he asked to be pardoned for the crimes of that day and remains charged for the crime of building Roger's ship, just so Frankie and Iceberg could go free. Great! Until Spondum starts doing Spondum things and proceeds to get whacked in the face by Frankie. Unfortunately for Frankie, his efforts were in vain, and they took Tom to the train to get him to Annie's lobby. Until this nigga Frankie decides to stand on the tracks in front of the train with an entire RPG on his back. Bro's ready to blow the shit up. Unfortunately, his shots didn't do shit, and now he's just standing in front of the train like a lunatic. He tried to stop the C train, but it didn't end well for him. And unfortunately for everybody else, Spondum is still alive and is now the head of CP9. And now they've decided to capture Frankie for
Annie's lobby would have gone. These niggas might have won Annie's lobby because Spondum dumbass wasn't in charge of this shit.
his supposed crime of destroying the judicial ship. Usopp tried to do something, but immediately got taken out and captured right along with Frankie to be taken to Annie's lobby. Back to Galila headquarters, Iceberg and Polly, who were in the fire, got saved by Chopper. Now, before leaving for Annie's lobby, Kaku lets down the Mary and lets her float out during Aqua Laguna, hoping the strong waves would just destroy it. And this was one of the biggest mistakes that CP9 made. Now, after this, we learned some valuable information. Turns out, Aokiji and all of his stupidity gave Spondum the ability to make a buster call. And that's why Robin is following CP9's every order. Nami is
Love Roblox?
Yeah, I don't gonna lie, this nigga Spondum, Oda needs to start killing niggas, bro. Why is Spondum, that nigga, I don't even want that nigga to be redeemed. I want that nigga to be dead, bro.
Nami is flabbergasted after hearing this. But even still, she goes to wake up Chopper so they could head out because Robin needs to be saved. Anywho's Watson, the world government arrives so everybody could get on the train and go to Annie's lobby. Nami gets informed that if they do not get on this departing sea train, they're cooked. So off they go. Chopper goes to find Zoro and Luffy, and Nami heads to the train. Everybody's looking for Luffy and Zoro. Meanwhile, Luffy is stuck between two buildings again, and Zoro is stuck in a chimney. Sanji not only got on the train, but managed to leave a note for Nami and a portable transponder snail. Unfortunately for Sanji, when he gets on the train, he is immediately confused.
Nah, this was Aura. I ain't gonna lie, Sanji in this arc was, this might be Sanji's most Aureful arc, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga ran the gauntlet on the sea train, bro. This shit was so tough.
Confronted by a bunch of government agents, including this extra tall ass nigga named Jerry, who's apparently a boxing champion. This nigga immediately pulls out both his hands and starts throwing at literally everything, including his own men. Like this nigga managed to hit everybody except Sanji. And then this nigga gets into this wild ass stance.
Hey,
I don't even
nigga, put this nigga in prime position.
know what this pose is. Throws one of the wildest kicks ever, misses and comes back, only to get one-shotted by Sanji, leaving everybody flabbergasted. Back to Nami, she meets up with Kokoro, and thanks to Chimney, they found Luffy, who was stuck between the two buildings. And Zoro was luckily spotted by Chopper, but unfortunately for both of them, there's a giant tsunami literally coming towards them. Luffy gets unstuck by pushing apart the two giant buildings.
Yeah, Nami told that nigga that Robin sacrificed himself and he immediately locked in.
Zoro sliced the chimney with a single sword. Following this, they had to run for their life from a second tidal wave. Nami explains to everybody what's going on, and in that same time, Sanji runs through a bunch of marines and gets to Frankie and Usopp, also finding transponder snails. Now he can finally talk to Nami. While there, he gives Frankie a good kick to the face for jumping Usopp earlier in the arc. Now luckily for the rest of the Straw Hats, there was another sea train. Iceberg got it ready for them, and Granny Kokoro's gonna drive it. Frankie's goons came out of nowhere and asks to hop on so they can go save Frankie. And just like that,
Yeah,
everybody is
right. Nigga, the Straw Hats and the Frankie Bros like, alright, my nigga, we gotta calm the enemy. Let's get this shit
off to Annie's lobby. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, Water 7 and Annie's lobby are my favorite arcs of One Piece so far. I was gonna cover both of them in this video.
Water 7 and Annie's lobby, it's neck and neck when it comes to Marineford. But both them arcs is straight gas. I ain't gonna lie, I might make a video about them hoes. But that being said, shout out my dog JP Talk Too Much. And like always, it's your boy Jay. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and stay blessed. And I'm out.